Good afternoon, everybody. It has been quite a week. Tonight, City Council is going to be discussing the closure of streets downtown for commercial, restaurant, and community use. And so thank you to the hundreds of you guys who participated in this discussion. It's great. This is exactly what these videos are intended to be for. So as we discuss closing the streets, today's big idea is about lowering barriers to entry to support local and locally serving business. What does that mean? In communities across the world, people invest in the type of businesses they want, and they make it easier to start businesses. So, for instance, if you think about a restaurant, if you have to pay $50,000 a month for rent and have a full staff, etc., it's quite difficult to get started. If, however, you are able to do a street stall, as you might find in Vietnam or China, well, now your investment to get up and running might be in the thousands or even hundreds of dollars, and you are the only person there. So you've lowered the barrier to entry. You've made it easier for people to start something new and creative. Because the cost of getting in is less, the cost of the item can be less, so you've made it more affordable for the individual, for the customer. So now your burger is, say, $5 rather than $25. It's just one example of how that works, but I think a clear one. And so as we potentially expand the area of places where business can be done, i.e. streets, sidewalks, parks, right of way, and as you own those things, which is to say the rent does not need to be $50,000, what else can we be doing to be supporting an economy that we can be proud of? We could, for instance, on those streets, create micro stalls where people could start locally owned businesses, whether that's selling art or jewelry or food products. We could create an initial spot for them to test out their business and then maybe and potentially hopefully move to a retail store one day. We could also invest in businesses, and when I say we, I don't necessarily mean the city, but there are examples of incubators, accelerators, and funds all across the world that have been very successful in jumpstarting local businesses. So you may get a group of private investors together who want to invest in local entrepreneurs for some stake in their company. They may choose to pair that investment with a program. So that could look like bringing in mentorship, business development expertise. It could mean pooling resources like how to file taxes or other classes or education. All of this is really about making it easier for locals to start businesses that would serve the local community. And in doing so, we can shift our approach from one that has historically been just about saying no to what we don't want to one that says yes to what we do want and making an active investment in those things. So this is another big idea. We've had a few of these now, and what we're looking for here is your involvement in this process. So what other ideas do you have for how we can proactively support locally serving conscious businesses? What other things might we do to make it easier for entrepreneurs to get started in Aspen? And if there are things that you don't like in this, how could we do it differently? So if you're not in favor, for example, of closing the streets because of parking, but you do like the idea of having a $5 hamburger in town, what other ways might we achieve those goals? That's the big idea for today. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and everyone have a beautiful day amongst these, frankly, very tortured times.